Hey guys, and welcome back to another top 5 type video. First of all, I just want to apologize for last month. I got really busy and it just didn't happen. I apologize, but I want to just get on with the show and do this up. So for this month, we're doing my top 5 favorite electric types. First up on our list is the legendary Pokemon Thundurus, known as the Bolt Strike Pokemon. Thundurus is one of 3 Pokemon in the classification of either Kami Trio, Genie Trio, or the Forces of Nature. The other 2 are Landorus and Tornadus, and honestly, I like Thundurus way more than both of them. Thundurus is based on the Shinto god Raijin, who reigns over thunder and lightning. And just by looking at Thundurus, it's pretty clear what its origins are from. Just like the other 2 members of the Kami Trio, Thundurus has 2 forms, an incarnate form and a Therian form. In its incarnate form, it looks basically like a genie, which is why they're called the genie Pokemon by fans. Its lower half is all cloud, and it's like a big dude with its arms crossed. In addition to that, it's got a really cool tail where it's basically a bunch of tomoes strung together by a single strand. In fact, it has tomoe patterns all over its body. Moving on from its incarnate form, it also has a form called Therian. The Therian form is achieved when you reflect Thundurus' image in the reveal glass. This changes its overall appearance into more of a dragon-looking thing. And if I'm being honest with myself, the dragon form or Therian form is way cooler than its normal genie form. Granted, I like both, but the Therian form really outdoes the incarnate form for me. It's all these reasons that it's my number 5 pick on this list. Next up on our list is number 4, and that's both Helioptile and Heliolisk. They're both known as the generator Pokemon, and for good reason. They both bathe in the sun so that they can generate electricity. Or rather, they both have cells in their bodies that generate electricity when exposed to sunlight. They're basically living solar panels. In addition to that, they're also the only electric normal type Pokemon in the game so far. In order to evolve Helioptile into Heliolisk, you need to give it a Sunstone, which seems pretty on brand considering that they absorb sunlight and they're basically solar panels, so yeah, Sunstone works. From the very beginning, I loved Helioptile. It was so cool looking and it was just really cute. And we got to meet it in the anime even before X and Y came out. Then, when I learned it evolved into Heliolisk, which is this super cool frill lizard, I was sold. So sold that I ended up using it through my first run through the Kalos region. I also really liked its new move, Parabolic Charge, which basically attacks the enemy and then absorbs energy from it. Again, they're basically solar panels. They're absorbing energy from other things. Overall, I just think they're really cute and cool looking Pokemon, and that's why I love them and they're my number 4 Pokemon on this list. Next up on our list, we have number 3, and that's Vikavolt, the Stag Beetle Pokemon. Honestly, I put Vikavolt on this list because I like it way more as an electric type, despite it also being bug type. Honestly, it's a really easy thing to see why I like it so much. It is so freaking cool looking. Vikavolt evolved from Grubbin and Charjabug, and it does so by evolving in a highly charged area. You can find these electrically charged areas either in Vast Pony Canyon or also in Blush Mountain, depending on what game you're playing. While I admit I wasn't totally sold on Grubbin when I first saw it, as soon as I saw Vikavolt, I was sold again on another electric type Pokemon to use in my journeys across Alola. And I enjoyed it so much. I will say one thing, the lore of Vikavolt is a little misleading. Vikavolt is technically not as fast as you'd think it would be. But I can honestly forgive it for that because it's just so cool looking and it learns some really decent electric type moves. On top of that, I love the lore of it picking up Charjabug to hold on for as like an extra battery pack. Vikavolt is based on not only just a Stag Beetle, but also a railgun, and that's so freaking cool. That's why it's my number 3 spot on this list. Now we move on to my number 2 spot, and that's Zekrom, the Deep Black Pokemon. Zekrom is one of the arguably cooler looking Pokemon out there. That being said, I do remember people thinking that it looked a little over-designed when it first was revealed. I also thought that, but honestly, the more I looked at it, the more I thought it was just super cool looking, especially with those piercing red and white eyes. Zekrom is one of the members of the Tau Trio, who are said to be one dragon originally. In fact, in Black 2, in an effort to recreate the original dragon, Zekrom along with Kyurem are fused together, thus creating Black Kyurem. That being said, Zekrom on its own is super cool. In addition to drawing inspiration from dragons in general, it also draws inspiration from electrical turbines. This is especially noticeable when it starts powering up and you can see its tail glowing. Its tail literally looks like a giant turbine. On top of that, it takes inspiration from the yin part of yin yang, so much so that its Japanese Pokemon species is the Black Yin Pokemon. Zekrom is one of those Pokemon that I always thought looked cool, but I didn't really appreciate until after its generation. Also, I must say, its two signature moves, Bolt Strike and Fusion Bolt, are super cool too, and I also really like that they draw inspiration from electrical energy. Zekrom is just so cool looking, and overall, it's just a really cool Pokemon, and that's why it's my number 2 on this list. Now we move on to my number 1 spot, and honestly, just as I'm now getting to number 1, I have a late entry, and now it's going to be split between 2 different Pokemon. Those 2 Pokemon are Gen 4's Electivire and Pachirisu. Electivire is the Thunderbolt Pokemon, and Pachirisu is the Ella Squirrel Pokemon, which is a shortening of its Japanese species, Electric Squirrel Pokemon. I originally had Electivire standing at the top of this list all by itself, but honestly, I can't deny that Pachirisu is just super cute and super awesome, and it's also an electric type, so I gotta include it. First, let's focus on Electivire though. It's the final evolution of Elekid and Electabuzz, and on top of that, it's a Gen 4 cross-generational evolution. Plus, it has a really cool ability called Motor Drive. If Electivire is hit by an electric attack, its speed is actually boosted instead of it getting damaged by the attack. Electivire was owned by both Gary and Paul, and in both cases it was super cool in the anime. The one downside to Electivire that I think of is that its attack stat is actually higher than its special attack stat, and most electric type moves are special attack. So in order to take advantage of its attack stat, it has to diversify its move pool, which actually can help it defend itself against Pokemon that are good against it. Now, as for Pachirisu, it's honestly on this list just because it's super cute, and I really like its color palette. I've never actually used the Pachirisu, but when the Diamond and Pearl remakes finally come out, it's definitely on my team. In the anime, it was owned by Dawn, and it was shown to have kind of a hyperactive personality. In the games, more often than not, it's really not used very much competitively. However, in 2014, it was used by Seijun Park to win Worlds. And that's a super impressive feat. So I guess that just goes to show you don't judge a book by its cover. And again, it really is just super cute, and that's really the only reason it's at the top of this list for me. Alright, well those are my top 5 electric type Pokemon. What did you guys think? Do you agree with any of them, or would you swap some out? Let me know down below in the comments section. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want to see more of my top 5 videos that I've already made, I'll leave a link to the playlist that I made. I'll also leave a little card here or there somewhere. And in general, if you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell. That way you'll get all the notifications when I upload. Alright guys, that's it for me. I will see you in another video. Have a good one.